Hey guys, my name's Keyan Houshmand, and in today's video we're going to be looking at why plugins are better than real amps and real cabs. This one's going to be a little bit controversial. Let's have a look. So if you've watched the channel before, you probably already know that I'm very accustomed to using plugins as opposed to using real amps and real cabinets. And for the longest time I've thought to myself, why don't I just get a real amp and cab? And to be honest, I can't think of any good reasons for me right now. And the more I think about it, the more I think that plugins are actually better than real amps and cabs for my uses anyway. So it's for that reason that I'm going to go through 3 reasons why I think plugins are actually better than real amps and real cabs. Before we get into it though, if you guys like this at any time, please feel free to leave a like and a comment. Try not to attack me too much, and if you guys want to see more of this stuff, definitely think about subscribing. If you want to support me and what I do, definitely check out my Patreon and my affiliate links. All of that stuff will be down below in the description. Reason number 1, versatility. For the longest time, I can remember myself trying to dismember every part of a plugin and trying to stick it all together to make a tone that I'm happy with that's very different to what you'd hear from a single plugin. And just with the nature of plugins and how versatile they actually are, it's very easy to come up with a really unique tone using a bunch of different plugins. And what better way to show you guys what I mean than to show you on my computer right now. So as you can see, we're using Amp Super Duper for the amp tone, and this is what it sounds like. Now the guitar that we're using right now is my Jackson Mishima Pro series that's been modded to have bare knuckle pickups. It's got Ragnaroks in the bridge and neck, hip shot bridge, and it's got Godo locking tuners as well. As I was saying before, plugins are extremely versatile, and I'm going to show you why right now. So I'm going to go through every single plugin in this chain and tell you exactly what they're doing and what purpose they serve. So starting off with the first one, we have Archetype Gajira from Neural DSP, and as you can see from the top, I've got everything disengaged apart from the pitch shift section. With this preset I've got here -3, which means -3 semitones. If I have the pedal engaged, I'll be playing in drop G sharp, I'm pretty sure. Which means that if I disengage the pedal, I'm going to be in my natural tuning of this guitar, which is drop B. Let's disengage that for now, so we're in drop B. The next part of the tone chain is the noise gate and the overdrive pedal. As you can see here, we're using the Neural DSP Fortin Cali suite, which again has the amp and cab disabled, and we're only using the Fortin based pedals that are within the plugin. When you're getting into this sort of manipulation with the plugins and stuff like that, it doesn't really matter if it sounds exactly like this pedal or exactly like this amp, even though that I know with the Neural DSP products and basically a lot of other products that are on the market right now, their representations of the amps or the pedals that they're modeling are basically 1-to-1. It's absolutely insane these days. However, if it wasn't exactly the same, it wouldn't really bother me as much because I'm getting a tone that I like by mix and matching different things from different plugins. Now, the beauty of having it separately in the chain means that I can use basically any amp that I want from any plugin. Right now we're using Amp Super Duper from MLSoundLab, like I said before, but if I wanted to use a Mazer amp from the STL Tones stuff, I could just load up STL Tones amp up and use that. If I wanted to use the Fortin Nameless amp from Neural DSP, I could use that. If I wanted to use another amp from another plugin company, I could use that as well. And the beauty of it is I would still have the consistency of the Fortin grind pedal before it, which can only be done in the Fortin suites from Neural DSP. And I'm pretty sure STL Amp Hub has it as well. Going on into the actual amp, we have the Amp Super Duper plugin, and I'm using the Duper amp, and these are the settings that I've got going on at the moment. But as you can see, cab section is disabled. I'm using no overdrive pedals because we're using the overdrive pedal in the Fortin Cali suite, and I'm not using a noise gate either because the noise gate is engaged here and here on the Zool noise gate in the Neural DSP plugin before it. Moving on, we have GGD Studio Cabzilla on my own little preset that I made. This is a preset that I've been using for a very long time, and it's basically the standard when I try out new amps and stuff like that. I put it with this IR that I've made. And then last but not least in the chain, we have STL Tones Amp Up, which I'm using purely for post effects and a little bit of EQ as well. Or I could turn all this stuff off and just have the EQ, or if I want it to be a little bit more natural, I can turn the EQ off as well. EQ is very, very subtle, but it does make a difference to my ears when playing, and it's something that I really enjoy. As you can see, the possibilities are endless when using plugins. Say for example, I didn't want to use the AMPS Super Duper amp, I didn't want to use this Dover 50 amp, I could simply disengage that, which I've done here, and I could load up another amp. For argument's sake, we're going to use Archetype Plenty from Neural DSP, and right now I've got the second amp loaded up, and I've kind of dialed it into the way I'd want with this tone. And the beauty of it is I'm still using the Fortin 33 pedal in the Fortin Cali suite here, I'm still using the same cab, and I'm still using the same effects if I wanted to use them. And I can just load up Archetype Plenty, change the amp, and get a different sound. Reason number 2, cost. Now obviously a real amp or a real cab can cost a different amount of money, it really just depends which one you get. However, the ones that I find myself using in plugin format are very, very expensive. For example, if I was to get the real life version of the Meshuggah amp, the signature amp, which is the Fortin Nameless from Neural DSP, that would cost me somewhere around $4,000. Factor in all the cables, the cabs, and all the microphones that you'd have to buy to record it, it goes anywhere from around $5,000 to $6,000. And this can go for a lot of different amps. For example, the amp that we were modeling before, the Dover 50, that's a boutique amp and that would cost somewhere around the same price. However, with all of these plugins coming out lately and how good they actually sound compared to the real thing, it's almost like you can't even justify a reason to buy the real amp anymore. That is especially the case when you're a bedroom musician like me who just wants to be able to plug their guitar in and get good tones straight away. I know now that if I want a really good 5150 amp type tone, I can use my Archetype Nolly from Neural DSP. Or if I want my Dover 50 type tone, I can use my AMPS Super Duper from MLSoundLab. Or if I want a really cool Mesa amp sound, I can get STL Tones Amp Hub and load up the Mesa amp from there. Even if I bought all of those plugins at full price separately, it would probably cost me about 1/10 of what it would cost to buy the Dover 50. And the fact that there's no risk of anything malfunctioning is also a big plus. I don't have to change any tubes, I don't have to clean out anything. It's all just there on my computer, ready to go. Which brings us to reason number 3, portability. As I was saying, all of this stuff is straight on my computer. Theoretically, I could have it on a laptop and bring it around with me anywhere. For my purposes at the moment, because I'm doing full mixes and stuff, I need all the CPU power I can get, so I'm using my computer. But if I had to be on the go all the time, it would definitely be on my laptop. And just the notion of having all of that stuff on your laptop that's extremely portable, extremely light, ready to go anywhere without needing to lug around an actual amp or wheel an actual cab around is absolutely mind-boggling to me. Us guitar players are always slouching over and we're doing ourselves more harm than good most of the time, so the fact that we don't have to lug around anything and it can just be on a laptop is really, really cool. If you want to get a little bit more nerdy with it, you could even bring around an FR speaker, which isn't that heavy anyway. Just run your laptop into that and have any tone you want going through an extremely flat response speaker. Almost like a PA system or the studio monitors that I have behind me. That combined with an audio interface that's cost effective and portable as it is, coupled with the computer that's carrying all my tones, all my amps, all my effects, all my cab settings just in the box ready to go, going through an FR speaker is basically a rig that can go anywhere. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Would you guys rather have a real amp and a real cab, or would you rather have the versatility, cost effectiveness, and overall portability of using plugins? Let me know what you think. If you guys like this video at any time, please feel free to leave a like and a comment on anything you saw or heard. And if you want to see more of this stuff, definitely think about subscribing. Again, if you guys want to support the channel and what I do, definitely check out my Patreon. I'll leave a link for all that stuff, as well as all my affiliate links in the description. But until next time, I'll catch you guys later. Thank you so much for watching. Ciao.